Hey there. If you've been feeling like a burden lately, I want you to stay here with me for a minute before you decide that's the truth. I know that feeling can become very convincing, not all at once, but slowly, over time. It usually starts with small moments that seem harmless on their own. Maybe you needed comfort but hesitated before reaching out. Maybe you apologized for opening up. Maybe you noticed yourself rewriting messages, shortening them, trying not to take up too much space. And eventually, without realizing it, you start treating your feelings like something other people have to tolerate instead of something they're allowed to witness. So you become careful. Careful with your emotions, careful with your needs, careful with how much of yourself you let people see. Because somewhere along the way, you started believing that being easy to handle is what makes you lovable. And that's such a painful way to carry yourself through relationships, because it means even when people care about you, a part of you is still quietly asking, am I too much right now? Are they getting tired of me? Would they feel lighter if I kept more of this to myself? And when those thoughts sit with you long enough, you stop reaching out the way you used to. Not dramatically, just gradually. You begin holding things in. You say, I'm okay, faster. You try to solve your sadness before anyone notices it. And from the outside, it can look like independence. But internally, it often feels more like loneliness. Because the truth is, human beings were never meant to carry everything alone. We're not built to always be the strong one, or the calm one, or the person who never needs reassurance. Sometimes you need support. Sometimes you need patience. Sometimes you need someone to sit with you while you're not at your best. And needing that does not make you a burden. It makes you human. I think part of the reason this feeling hurts so deeply is because you care about people. You notice energy shifts. You notice tone changes. You notice when someone seems distant or overwhelmed. And because you're so aware of how others feel, you start trying to make yourself smaller to avoid inconveniencing them. But there's a difference between being considerate and believing your emotions are a problem. Those are not the same thing. The right people won't love you only when you're easy. They won't only want you when you're happy, calm, or emotionally uncomplicated. Real connection has room for hard days too. Not perfectly, of course. People are still human. People get tired. People sometimes don't know the right thing to say. But healthy love doesn't make you feel guilty for existing honestly. It doesn't make you feel like you constantly have to earn your place by asking for less. And I really need you to hear this part carefully. You are allowed to need people sometimes. You are allowed to have emotions that aren't neat or convenient. You are allowed to speak when something hurts instead of carrying it silently until it becomes unbearable. That doesn't make you weak, and it doesn't make you too much. It just means you are a person living through real experiences, trying your best to be understood while also trying not to overwhelm anyone. That's a very human thing. So tonight, before you label yourself as a burden, pause for a second. Ask yourself if you've truly been too much, or if you've simply gotten so used to carrying things alone that any amount of needing support now feels uncomfortable. Because those are very different things. You do not have to disappear emotionally to deserve love. You do not have to become smaller to make other people stay comfortable. And you don't have to earn care by pretending you need nothing. You're allowed to be fully human here, even on the difficult days, especially on the difficult days.